have watercolor paper, Master's Touch from Michaels, just for practice and small stuff. My watercolor paints. These are actually the classics from Prima. They're awesome paints to start with. I love them. I have so much fun with these guys, and I've actually ordered 2 more online. Don't tell anyone. They have so many great colors. You're really gonna love this set. And to begin, why not have a fun little small set? This is the classic colors. These are gonna have all the colors that you're gonna need to paint anything. You can get a bigger set of watercolors that will have 30 colors in the palette. But I think when you're starting, this is a much better palette to have because it can get overwhelming with too many colors. I have my sample drawing, which is what we're going to be drawing today and painting. I have my water, my paper towel, and today I just have an office pen. Nothing exceptional, and of course my eraser and my pencil. First up, we're going to reactivate our paints. Just a little spray bottle. Grab my paper towel, clean this out. Nice and clean for our new colors. All right. So, let's see what kind of colors we need. And this is a great time to have some scratch paper, any kind of scratch watercolor paper. I'm just using a Princeton No. 6 brush, Princeton Heritage Series. It's a round brush, great brush to have, not expensive. This is fun. It's a fun brush. Okay, I'm gonna get my brush wet, and I'm going to test some colors. Now, these are the colors we want to get to. So for this, I'm going to take some of the pink. Wow, that's a beautiful color. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to water it down a little bit. And the cool thing about watercolors is you can get that great shade right out of the box, but you can always water it down. And from what I've learned, it's better to start with a very light color and move your way up than to start with a darker color. Okay, and so I'm looking at this and I think, well, maybe it needs a little purple. So here's my purple, and purple is very strong if you ask me. So I'm gonna just bring a little purple in as I want to here. Maybe a little more purple. I'm trying to get this color. Maybe a little white. Ooh, I think we're getting there. That looks like a really great color. And that looks close. I'm gonna add a little more pink in the side in case I need it. Okay, rinse off my brush. What I'm gonna do next is look for, so this color here would probably just be a darker version of this, maybe with a little less purple. So maybe let's get some more of this on here. A little less purple, more of a pink. And then over here, we're going to get some yellow on our board. So, yellow is popular here. Just load up your brush with some yellow, put it in your palette. And this is a pretty bright yellow. All I have to do is add a little water to get it a little bit lighter. Okay, and if I want to go back and darken the yellow, I just use some more of the area that's got more pigment. All right, and last is this green. Now, I have a little green on my palette over here, which you probably can't see. Let me try and pull it closer. So here's a little green. I'm gonna try and match this green which is sort of a very gray green. So to me, maybe I need to add a little brown to that to make it gray green. Oh, that might be a little too much. Maybe not. I sort of like that green. Maybe a touch more green here. I sort of like that. So I'm going to go with that green for our leaves. Okay? So, rinse off my brush. Let's move this back. First of all, I'm going to start with placement of this. It looks like the stems are going to come down to here. The flowers are going to be right here tops. Maybe right here tops on that flower. And then we're sort of going to be about this far away from that edge. Maybe this far away from that edge. So just a few guidelines. And for this drawing, I don't think you need to make a sketch, but if you want to, you could just do very light. And remember, it doesn't matter what this looks like. You are practicing. You're going to have fun with this, I promise you. Okay. Now, because this is sort of a light color, I'm going to sort of use my eraser to erase some of these lines because I don't want them showing up in my lighter pastel area. So let's jump right in. Okay, starting with pink, I decided I wanted to add a little more color to this. I'm going to dip my brush, dab it off, maybe one more because that's still a little pink. I'm going to start here. And what I'm going to do is just make a sort of teardrop shape and a little bit too much water at the bottom, so I'm going to soak it up. You sort of just want to glaze, no puddles, okay? If you see you're getting a puddle, just sop it up, okay? I'm rinsing my brush, going back into the pink. Now, again, I think the pink is too strong, so I'm going to dip it and go in with sort of another boom, boom, boom right there. Just a little, what would you call that? Just like a leaf shape. Don't want a puddle, so I'm just going to move some of this stuff around. No puddles, no puddles. Okay, we're going to go back in with the pink, a little dip, and maybe make another kind of leaf shape there. Actually, it's our petal. Okay, beautiful. Now what you're going to do at the bottom of this petal is take some dark, maybe even a little red, and dab it at the bottom just for interest. And it'll kind of seep up. You don't know what's going to happen here, but that's watercolor. Look how that happens. So cool. And if you see here, I didn't erase my lines enough so you can sort of see through that. So what? Okay, now we're going to try this tiny flower up here. I'm going to put a dab here of the purple and mix it in with the pink. So we just get a tiny bit of a shade difference here. Okay, a little more pink. Again, I thought I had the color right, but you know what? That looks very good. So we're gonna go in with this top flower. And we're gonna go in with this purplish pink. Make sure it's light enough. It's our first wash. So we're gonna do the same thing again. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. It's a smaller flower. Boom, boom. Okay? Looking good. Not many puddles. If you have some white, that's fine. It's kind of cool. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in with this purple color. Get some more water in this purple color. It needs to get alive here. And maybe, just maybe, a dab of purple at the bottom. Why not? And look how that spreads out, because when you put watercolor on wet watercolor, it sort of spreads out and does this fun magic stuff. Okay? Cool, cool. Last one, we're going to introduce some yellow. Now, it looks really dark in my palette, so I'm going to just dab a little water in, because, again, I want to go from light to dark. A little bit more water. We just want like a wash. You'll hear me say wash here and again. It means a lot of water and not a lot of paint, okay? How cute is that? And what I'm going to do here is add a little of our pink color, just because I think it'd be pretty. Dab it in. Here and there. As long as you're dabbing into wet paint, it's fine. If I try and go back here and dab it into paint that's already dried, it's probably not going to work. Okay, so what we're going to do at this point is let this dry. Let it dry completely. Okay, folks, everything is dry. If you want to know how to test if your watercolors are dry, sort of use the back of your hand and touch the paper. If it feels cold to the touch, it's probably not dry yet. So you probably want to wait a little bit. But this is dry, okay? So we can sort of paint another layer on top of this to give it more interest. And if you look at this one, you'll see that it sort of has different shades. You see how the pink has a different shade here, a little bit of purple. This is a light pink and a darker pink, and this we have yellow and pink. So we're going to try and get that look on our painting here. And the way you do that is just to put another layer on top of the paint you have here, either in a different shade, like this here is darker pink, or the same shade, or a little different shade. Like here we have pink and purple. So anyway, let's do this one. According to our little sample, we have pink on the bottom and a little bit of purple here. So let's get some purple mixed up. We still have some stuff in our palette. It's probably a little bit darker purple, so that's going to work just fine. Okay, and we're going to go in and just, not the exact same area we painted before, but just maybe a little different. And see, okay, that's a little too dark for my liking. And we've got a puddle, so I'm going to soak up the puddle. Maybe soak up some of this pigment and go back in. Maybe with a little bit less pigment. Boom, boom. And really, there's no wrong or right way to do this. Just get some paint on the paper. A little bit more purple here. And let's do our last little boom, boom. Okay? Don't worry about perfection. Does this look perfect? No. And trust me, the more you go over it, the more you're going to say to yourself, I should have just left it. Okay, so there's one flower. Up here, it looks like it's just another shade of the purple, so let's go again with some purple. Get a little bit darker shade, not too much water, and let's just paint. Boom, boom. Light colors on top of light colors. Bring this little puddle down. We'll get rid of that later. Another light color on top of a light color. Let's drag this little puddle down. We'll deal with that later. And boom, boom, boom. Like I said, this does not have to be perfect. Look how cute that is. Hello. let's go with a really light pink on top of this yellow. So here's my pink, more pink in the palette. We're going to add some water to make it lighter pink. Okay. Super fun. Don't get crazy with it. They're just cute little flowers. Now here, I'm going to try and dip some purple into the bottom of this. See if it's still wet enough to kind of dance around, and it is. I'm not going to try it with this pink because at this point it might be too dry, but here I might try and put some pink in here. So we're going to go back in to the pink, maybe a little bit of red, pink and red. Let's see if we're wet enough to get some magic happening. I think so. How cute is this? Like I said, don't go crazy. It's a sweet little painting, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. You've had fun doing it. It's practice. How sweet is that? Okay, we're gonna wait a few minutes, maybe 2 minutes, for that to dry, and then we're gonna put some stems and leaves. Let's finish. We're gonna have to do some stems and leaves, okay? So actually, what I'm gonna do is set aside my favorite Princeton Round 6 brush, okay? We're gonna introduce another player. This is the coolest brush ever. It's called a rigger. It's like this long, really, really thin brush, okay? And let me show you on just a piece of scratch paper what this sort of brush does for you. So I'm just gonna hold the brush sort of at the end and just be free with it, okay? So, ooh, free with it. Let's try and put some stems on our picture. Let's see if it works for me. I'm going to use our new fella, the rigger. I'm going to get it wet and put it in our green. I'm going to put my pinky on the paper to just stabilize and just put a little dot there and come on down. Cute little stem. Okay, that's the rigger. I'm going to go back to my size 6 and put some leaves in. Just sweet little leaves, and for a leaf, there's going to be a video on this, but you're just going to want to hold the brush again almost perpendicular to the page, use the tip, start out soft and push down and let up. That's a leaf, right? I'm sort of loving this already. Okay, we're gonna let this dry. Whoa, wait a minute, you know what I'm gonna do, because I see it on here, is get some splatters going. So let's get some yellow splatters, which I'm just gonna add a bit more water to my yellow. Let's take my brush and sort of boop, 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 boop. There's some yellow splatters. Okay, we're gonna let this dry. We're gonna do some outlining. You're gonna love it when you're done. So, we're dry. Next step, we're gonna do some outlining. My favorite part of a drawing like this, even though I love to paint, is the outlining. Look at this, look at this. See the fun details here? I just love that look. And this is how you do it. Literally, this is a pen from Staples. OptiFlow from Staples. Office pen. Okay? It's black. And we're just going to create some detail on this painting. We're going to move our paints over a little bit. And, you know, you don't want to be crazy about this. You just want to create some fun. So what I'm going to do here is just, I'm not even going to do every outline. And I'm certainly not going by the lines that are shown here. I'm sort of just going like that. Now we're going to do some stems. If you don't like your stems, here's the time to sort of make them the way you want. Don't have to follow the paint, it's just kind of random. Let's do some fun stuff with the leaves. Let's outline our leaves. I hope you enjoyed seeing the project today, and I hope you'll practice this one if you liked it, and let me know in the comments how it went for you. Bye for now.